this is very simple stuff. But of course, it's not if you were raised in Christianity and the system that you were in did not tell you that the commandments he's referring to here, and by the way, the same thing he was referring to in John 14 when he says, if you love me and guard my commandments, then I shall send you the helper. That's in John 14 and verse 15. If you love me, you shall guard my commands. What commands? Well, he told us to love God and love our neighbor. And well, how do you do that? There's other commands that explain all that. He didn't give every command in the Brit Hadashah. He already knew that they should know that he was the source of the commands. He came to give them the pieces they didn't have, or that they didn't have clarity of. He said, I didn't come here to reset the whole thing and set the thing on its ear and wipe out half of what you understood and give you all kinds of new stuff. I came to say, hey, this stuff that you were always supposed to do, knock off fooling around and goofing off, get about doing it. And this stuff over here, you've not understood, like the fact that there's a father and a son, and the way that I came here to point that out to you. I came to point out some other things to you about weightier matters, about the intrinsic nature of Elohim, about understanding the fullness of the intent or the spirit of the law. I came to give you on top of, in addition to, clarity so that you can apply things correctly, not to undo, get rid of, destroy, wipe out, replace, or anything else. He added understanding, not added laws. You see, you're not supposed to add or take away from the Torah. No, but he brought you to understand it better. He brought clarity to it. He added insight to your understanding of it. You know, he said, if you say, oh, I know of old it says don't commit adultery, but yet I'm going to stare at that woman and fantasize in my mind and I'm going to lust after her. Oh, but I'm good because I haven't touched her. And he's saying, no, the law was not intended just. Now, bear in mind, the word just is there. The law was intended to keep you from touching her, but not just that. It was intended to keep you from desiring and lusting and all the other stuff about it. Oh, I didn't kill him, and the law says don't murder, and I didn't murder him. But you wanted to. You've thought about it. You fantasized about it. So he's saying is the mechanics of the law can be done but without any internal change. But he says, I want the mechanics of the law to change you inside. So that not only don't I murder you, but I don't want to. Not only don't I commit adultery with you, but I don't want to. Not only don't I steal from you, but I don't want to. Not only don't I, whatever it is, right? The fullness of how he intended it was supposed to change your character. It was supposed to change you inside. So it wasn't just saying, if you guard my commands. Well, sure, I didn't murder anybody, so I guarded the command. But that doesn't help you become him. In guarding the command, if you embrace the fullness of how it was intended, or the spirit of it, remember, he says he wants to be worshiped how? In spirit and truth. I believe it's in understanding the Ruach teaching that I cover that quite extensively. So we understand that the truth, the mechanics. The truth is, don't murder, and I didn't murder anybody. Good. Now, it says spirit and truth. Okay, but you wanted to, so you only had half of it. You had the mechanics, you had the truth, because the truth is you didn't kill him. Truth is you didn't commit adultery. Truth is you didn't steal. Truth is you didn't whatever. So the truth is you really didn't do it. Fine. Good, you didn't do it. But where was your heart? Where was your character? Where was the spirit of it? See, all of you that came out of charismatic or Pentecostal, all that other stuff, you didn't get taught that. You were taught that spirit meant the fruit of the Spirit and spiritual gifts and all. No. He wasn't talking about that at all. He was talking about, as we would say this, when we talk about even in today's society, in the secular world, we talk about a law and the spirit of that law, the intention of the law. And that's what courts decide on a regular basis. As a matter of fact, when they really can't figure it out, it's almost like Deuteronomy 17. They go to the Supreme Court. And it's expected that whatever the Supreme Court says, that's what everybody does. See, they structure the Supreme Court system just like Deuteronomy 17. And so here you have The court then having to do what? Interpret the intention of the creators of the law. They know what it literally says, but what did they intend when they put the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, all these amendments to the Constitution? What did they mean when they protected those certain rights, those kind of things? Okay? The court has to decide, but what are they deciding? Not the mechanics of it necessarily. Because if the mechanics are black and white issues, it doesn't get to the Supreme Court. It's when it's something that's a little bit more gray, and somebody has to decide what was the original intent and how to apply this. Well, guess what? The Torah is the same way. You've got the truth, and then you got the Spirit. And the Spirit is the fullness of how it was intended.